Know that 90% of what you're doing to learn new skills is actually sabotaging your progress? Most people spend hours watching tutorials and reading guides, creating an illusion of progress while barely improving at all. The truth is, your brain doesn't learn by consuming information. It learns by struggling with it. I discovered this the hard way, and it completely transformed how I approach learning anything new. In the next few minutes, I'll share the science-backed framework that helped me master skills in 1/5 the normal time. What if everything you've been taught about learning is actually slowing you down? Most people think learning means collecting information, watching videos, reading books, highlighting passages, but there's a hidden truth most experts know. Passive learning creates the illusion of progress without actually making you better. It means absorbing information without engaging with it, watching tutorial after tutorial, or reading book after book without application. It feels productive, but you're merely collecting knowledge without building skill. It's like filling a bucket with water that has a hole in the bottom. The information flows right through without creating lasting ability. Research confirms this uncomfortable truth. The most common learning methods are actually the least effective. Studies show that highlighting text, rereading material, and summarizing content, techniques most of us learned in school, rank at the bottom for effectiveness. Yet these are precisely the methods most people rely on when trying to master something new. I discovered this the hard way. For 6 months, I watched countless guitar tutorials online, studying expert players breaking down songs and techniques. I genuinely believed I was improving. But when I actually picked up my guitar, my fingers couldn't reproduce what my brain supposedly knew. I had the knowledge in my head, but none of the skill in my fingers. Everything changed when I discovered desirable difficulty. This principle, pioneered by Robert Bjork, reveals that learning happens most effectively when it's challenging. When your brain has to work, when you feel that frustration of struggling, that's when neural connections form and strengthen. It's like forging a path through wilderness versus walking on a paved road. The harder-won path becomes more deeply embedded in your brain's architecture. Think about it this way. Watching someone play a beautiful piano piece might make you feel like you understand how it's done. But sitting at the piano yourself, struggling through that same piece, making mistakes, feeling frustrated, that struggle is literally rewiring your brain in ways that passive observation never could. Active recall exemplifies this principle perfectly. Instead of passively reviewing information, testing yourself forces your brain to retrieve and strengthen neural connections. Research shows this method is up to 10 times more effective than simply reviewing material. When you close the book and explain a concept in your own words, or put away the tutorial and solve problems yourself, real learning takes place. To apply desirable difficulty to anything you want to learn, create situations where you actively struggle with the material. For languages, force yourself into conversations where you have to think on your feet. For coding, tackle projects beyond your current abilities. For instruments, practice difficult pieces that stretch your capabilities. That frustration you feel when learning something new isn't failure. It's the sensation of your mind expanding. It's evidence your brain is growing. And when you combine this productive struggle with immediate feedback, the discomfort becomes your greatest teacher, accelerating your progress even further. That discomfort of struggle is only half the equation. Ever notice how some people practice for years without improving while others seem to accelerate their skills almost exponentially? The missing ingredient isn't more practice, it's feedback. And most of us are getting it completely wrong. Feedback functions as the steering wheel of learning. You can drive consistently for hours, but without steering, you'll never reach your destination. This is why consistency alone doesn't guarantee improvement. You could practice piano daily for a decade, reinforcing incorrect techniques, and become highly efficient at making the same mistakes. Feedback loops operate in 2 forms: positive ones that reinforce successful behaviors, and negative ones that correct mistakes. When an archer hits a bullseye, the satisfaction reinforces that exact motion. When they miss, their brain registers the error and prompts adjustment. The uncomfortable truth is that feedback often feels like criticism, and our ego resists it fiercely. This resistance explains why a guitarist might practice for years, yet barely improve beyond beginner level. They repeat the same mistakes thousands of times without awareness. They practice consistently, but never grow because they've removed the steering wheel from their learning vehicle. The timing of feedback dramatically impacts learning speed. When a language teacher corrects your pronunciation 6 weeks after you made the mistake, the connection between error and correction weakens. But when a native speaker raises an eyebrow during conversation, signaling your mispronunciation immediately, your brain creates a direct neural pathway. That didn't work. Try this instead. Language learning apps illustrate this problem. While convenient, they typically provide delayed feedback disconnected from your original mistake. Contrast this with immersive conversation, where immediate correction creates clear connections between actions and results. When feedback arrives promptly, your brain creates efficient learning shortcuts. With delayed feedback, it's like trying to improve your golf swing based on your final score rather than watching each ball's trajectory. This explains why surrounding yourself with experts creates powerful acceleration in learning. They provide an environment with constant, high-quality feedback, spotting mistakes you don't even know you're making. These experts see your blind spots and offer course corrections that would take years to discover independently. Think about the discomfort you feel when practicing alongside someone more skilled. That discomfort isn't just social awkwardness. It's growth happening in real time. Your brain constantly compares your performance to theirs, creating micro-adjustments that compound over time. This expert environment advantage can literally cut years off your learning curve. Video games demonstrate this principle perfectly. Children become skilled gamers quickly because games provide instant feedback. Miss a jump, your character falls. Press the wrong button, you lose points. Traditional education often delivers feedback weeks later, long after you've forgotten your thought process. Clear, actionable feedback accelerates learning better than vague encouragement. Hearing, "Your foot placement is off by 2 inches," provides a specific correction, while "Keep going, you're doing great" feels nice but offers nothing to improve upon. Specificity matters. So here's what separates the exceptional learners from everyone else. It's not some innate genius or talent they were born with. The true difference lies in their relationship with the learning process itself. When learning feels uncomfortable, that's your signal that real growth is happening. This discomfort isn't something to avoid. It's the very essence of progress. The 80-20 principle reveals another truth. Focusing your energy on the most impactful learning techniques delivers exponentially better results. Most people distribute their efforts evenly, but masters concentrate on the vital 20% that yields 80% of their growth. Your mission now isn't to consume more information or watch another tutorial. It's to apply everything we've covered to whatever skill you're currently developing. Seek out productive struggle, create systems for immediate feedback, and place yourself in environments with experts. These 3 shifts won't just accelerate your learning, they'll fundamentally transform what you believe is possible for yourself. The moment you embrace discomfort as growth, you've already separated yourself from the average learner.